JT, what's the sense, the energy for this team coming back in, everybody being back in the building off a bye week?
Definitely high energy. Just from being able to reset. But it's also another level of focus. We know, hey, we still have a job to do. We still have 4 weeks left. And everything is not set in stone yet. So what can we do this week to put ourselves in the best position we can be in? And the same thing the following week. So definitely refreshed, but it's also a new level of focus of, hey, we still got 4 weeks to try to make this thing what we want it to be.
How do you reinforce that sense of urgency where you do have 4 opportunities remaining on the season?
Number one, it's an opportunity, so you don't know how many opportunities you'll get. But then number two, like I said, things aren't completely written off of the table, completely. So, what can we do to put ourselves in the best position? But I think number one is just realizing, regardless of, the back end, it's another opportunity, and you don't know how many you have in this league.
You've been managing the ankle throughout the year, practices and games. What did the week off do for you to kind of get that in a better place?
I think the week off done tremendous things for everybody, for their whole body. Not just one specific thing. Mentally, I think that's the biggest thing, especially with, a lot of the things that we've had transpire over the season. I think the biggest recovery that guys had was mentally being able to reset and reflush.
You've seen a lot playing football for many years, but this was probably unprecedented. This season was different, right? Personally, right? You went through some things physically, offensively, coaching, et cetera. What has it been like for you? Has this been a learning experience for you in any way?
Yeah, I'm talking to a lot of the older guys who, seen a lot of ball and seen a lot of different scenarios of, one, how to approach it, and two, what are some scenarios that can come out of it? They've seen, teams fall apart, when they go through adversity like this, and then they've also seen teams that came back, and just fought. You could just see the fight in them, whether it was the last 6 weeks or 4 weeks, whatever it may be. So then it kind of pondered on me, what do I want to contribute to this team for these last weeks? I want to fight, and that's the vibe in the locker room as well. It's like, we're not going to try to let this crumble. We want to fight until the very end.
What do you think you guys can take from those 4 games before the bye from the running game that'll play well over these last 4 games?
I think number one is just understanding where we were at and how we got to that point, and then figuring out, hey, how can we sustain that? How can we build on that, number one? But number one, how did we get there? What was that process? Was it, did you do something extra after practice? Did you do something at home? Or was it you tried something new at practice? How did we get to that point? And then how can we add on top of that?
JT, on that same note, kind of going back to Steven's question, a lot of veteran guys have said you learn more in a losing season. What has this season taught you?
Number one, it's taught me, no matter what, whether you're at your highs or whether you're at your lows, what's your mentality? It's your thought process. Things are going to happen. You work tirelessly every week to try to get the results you want. But, of course, things haven't gone our way this year. But what is your mentality every week after that? Is it, man, okay, I keep putting in the work and I'm not seeing the results. It's no reason for me to put in work. No, that's far from the case. It's every single week I'm going to do what I can to put myself in the best position. And if everybody does that, all 53 dudes do that, then the results should start to show. But do not waver from your process. Do not waver from your routine just because you're not getting the results despite putting in the work.
Right, along those lines, do you ever, you had so much success last year and you know what expectations are and all that. I know you don't care, but do you ever have to kind of ask yourself, am I still that guy? Am I the same guy? Or do you just kind of, are you able to not go there?
Oh, no. Well, you understand last season was very special. And, everybody wants, can we do that? Yes, you want to get better, but certain seasons are special for a reason. But now it's all about what are you going to do with this season, this opportunity that you have right now.
With the focus on these last 4 games inside the building, the discussion outside of it, unfortunately, is already looking forward to next year and draft position and all of that. As a team and as a player, how do you what's your response to that narrative that unfortunately is happening outside of the building?
Exactly. Inside of the building, we're going to fight. We still have 4 more opportunities, myself included, everyone in this locker room. We may not have another opportunity next week, God forbid something, you never know. So every time you have an opportunity to go out there, you put your best foot forward, number one, because you're doing what you love, and then number two, just do it for the man next to you, because you don't know when your last opportunity will be.
JC, how would you evaluate your past pro this season and just, pros, cons, growth, missteps this season?
Definitely number one, communication as well, and that doesn't just fall on one single person, but as a whole, definitely more times want to be more proactive in the communication, especially if we're in somewhere loud. hey, what was that? What was that? You know, and not just, you know, going off of the game plan throughout the week. Well, I know if we get this look, this is what we should be doing, because the calls could be different. But then also from a physical aspect, definitely in the beginning of the year, wanted to make sure there were a lot of things, you know, post foot, a lot of technical things. Hey, don't drop that. Don't open that gate. So as the year went on and progressed, I feel like I was able to definitely solidify that. But number one, a lot of the things were communication. So just making sure that no matter what the situation is, no matter if it's loud, you know, don't snap the ball unless, hey, we need to get everybody on the same page.
JT, Minnesota's been involved in a lot of single-score games. I know the emphasis is there each and every week on how slim the margin for error is, but how much more so does that put the emphasis on taking care of the things, correcting the mistakes that you guys can control, taking care of the football?
That's number one. When you try to focus on things that aren't necessarily out of your control, but you just don't have that much of a factor in contributing to, it makes things a lot tougher. But if you just sit there and focus, okay, what did I do? What did we do? How can we put ourselves in a better position? Then maybe some of those results won't happen. So it's all about, like you say, correcting our mistakes to put ourselves in the best position, because then maybe you don't get those results. Maybe there's a different outcome in our favor.
Next 3 games are against playoff contenders. Is there value in being a spoiler, playing that role?
It definitely can be, but no matter who we're playing, whether you're in playoff contention, whether you're not, it's another opportunity. You guys, well, in this case, we're going over there. It's going to be a fight. You know, it's a fight, and we're not backing down. So I think the number one thing is, it doesn't matter if they're hoping to go somewhere or hoping to not. When you play the Indianapolis Colts, you're going to put your best foot forward, because this is another opportunity for us to show what we're made of.
JT, a year ago at this time, you guys were rolling. You beat the Patriots. What is the reason why the offense isn't rolling right now when you look back at this season?
I think number one overall is just being on the same page, communication. Everybody is in their books. Everyone knows their stuff. When it comes down to it, when the play hits, let's get everybody on the same page, and not, hey, you know, this is what we worked on throughout the week. This is what we worked on throughout the whole week. So being able to, every time we line up, each and every single man knows their job, knows their assignment. But then that's only one half of it. The other half is execution. You got to complete that job as well at a high level.